we're at Gemini. So within the tarot, Gemini relates to Arcanum 17, the star. The most pronounced symbolism of this card pertains to its duality, and the most dual sign of the zodiac is Gemini. This sign, where the sun may be found from May 21st to June 22nd, is pictured among the constellations as the twins, representing reason and intuition. It belongs to the first degree of emanation of the airy triplicity, and therefore represents the most interior and free use of the intellect. It corresponds to the day house of Mercury, the planet of mental expression, and thus is a fitting symbol of truth. It is a mutable sign comparable to liquid air, therefore possessing wonderful powers of mental expansion and a constant flow of ideas expressed through conversation or writing. It is not bound so much by material motives as actuated by the desire for mental expression. It is a masculine sign, able to exert considerable initiative. In human anatomy, it rules the hands, arms, and upper respiratory system. The hands, as organs of execution, are dual, and Gemini people are remarkable for both executive ability and versatility. They usually are interested in several things at once and change their occupation often. They have a fondness for learning, are restless, dexterous, sensitive, and intuitive, and ever on the alert to learn the why of things. Their dominant idea is, I think. Looking back to Arcanum 17, Gemini is figured there as a blazing star of 8 rays, in the center of which is a white trine with point upwards, joined at its base to a black trine with its point downward. This star is surrounded by 7 other stars. It hovers over a young girl with no clothes who has 1 foot upon the sea, representing water, and 1 foot upon the land, which represents earth, and who pours the fluid of universal life from 2 cups, one of gold, which is the sun, the other of silver, the moon. Near the girl is a flower of 3 blossoms, and above the upper one, a butterfly opens its wings. She rests partly upon the land and partly upon the sea to denote that truth is dual, and the truth of reality and the truth of appearances, the truth of the practical and the truth of the ideal. Using symbolism here and relying on what we've learned through the Egyptian tarot, it is interesting that even though the Greeks used the twins, Castor and Pollux, to represent the idea of Gemini, here in the older Egyptian tarot, we see the image of a young girl instead. Does she have a twin? That's a very good question to ask, in my opinion, and while contemplating the spirit of Gemini, there is no better time to ask it. Gemini is affiliated with the color spectrum to the lighter shade of violet, while the darker shade of the same color can be found with the sign Virgo, another mutable sign which is represented by a young girl, also ruled by mutable Mercury. Although here she's very close. This close relationship between an air sign and an earth sign at first glance can be difficult to grasp. Yet the symbolism is undeniable, as Virgo is number 2 within the arcanum of the tarot, and so we're invited to dig deeper, as it's suggested, and with Gemini being the most dual of signs. It has been suggested within the Brotherhood of Light lessons that the 6th book, the Sacred Tarot, is a very good source of material to meditate on, and this topic is an excellent example. The 8-point star symbolizes the law of equilibrium, the balance between spirit and matter, male and female, the inner and the outer. It is a book of the apocalypse or book of nature, sealed with 7 seals, and thus represents the inner realization and the outer realization, the birth of the soul and the birth of the body, under the influence of the planets represented by the 7 surrounding stars or seals. In the 2nd arcanum, we also see a book, but it's explained there that the book is half hidden, signifying that only half the truth can be discerned by the physical senses, the exoteric side. The esoteric, or other half, must be apprehended through the application of the psychic senses. Reason, divorced from intuition, can discern only in the realm of effects, but re-wed to intuition can remove the obscuring mantle from nature's most secret page and pursue her mysteries at leisure. It is also explained there that these mysteries are revealed only in solitude to the one who meditates in silence. And coincidentally, I only myself made this connection while researching this very topic this week. More can be said on this, and of course, the themes of conscious mind versus the unconscious mind can be found throughout the Brotherhood of Light lessons, pretty much every chapter, every book. Each of the smaller stars or seals has 4 points to signify that man should recognize the nature of its influence and realize how to direct it into channels of its own choosing. Another correspondence between Gemini and Virgo within the sacred tarot that I noticed are that they both are opposite a sign in the zodiac ruled or co-ruled by Jupiter. Gemini to Sagittarius and Virgo to Pisces. As Jupiter and Mercury is always an excellent match, especially within alchemy, all four make up the mutable or changeable signs together. While separately, they can also represent the four elements. Mercury, the planet of the mind, is also a mutable or volatile, changeable, persuasive metal. Being liquid, it conforms to every surface upon which it rests and readily adapts itself to every circumstance of life. As a duality, all planets are divisible into those that are electric and positive, and those that are magnetic and negative. The electric and positive planets are Sun, Mars, and Jupiter. The magnetic and negative planets are Moon, Venus, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto. Uranus, as a higher octave of Mercury, is neutral and electromagnetic. Mercury is either positive or negative according to its association with other planets, being but the mediumistic transmitter of the positiveness or negativeness of the other planets. The mind of man, after the manner thus described, is acknowledged to be two, the objective and the unconscious, linked inseparably so long as earthly life shall last. The objective mind, being dependent upon the physical brain for expression, is, like Castor, subject to the forces of death, but the unconscious mind, persisting in the astral realms after the dissolution of the physical, is like Pollux, in truth immortal. Duality is the most marked characteristic of those born under the third division of the zodiac, better than any other sign. Gemini typifies the duality that sustains all worlds and alone makes life and consciousness possible. That's it.